You're listening to the Hustled Up Podcast. We're Holly and Laura, besties since birth, cleaning business owners, multi-passionate doers, and founders of the Hustle Haven, a modern business education and networking collective built for fellow entrepreneurs who crave growth, support, and real connection. Now, we're your go-to girlies for the real side of entrepreneurship. We're covering wins, fails, and the messy middle. So come on in and let's talk branding, booking, burnout, and everything in between. If you're in serious need of tips, tea, total transformation, and that let's freaking go energy, you're in the right place. Grab your earbuds, turn up the volume, and let's hustle up.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to this week's episode of the Hustled Up Podcast. We are your hosts, and my name is Laura.
And I'm Holly.
And we are so excited for today because we have a guest.
We have a guest.
And this conversation was so good. We literally just wrapped it up. I'm going to be real with you. And it was so fire. It just ideal guest. We had the pleasure of speaking with Mark Burkhalter. Hope I said that right. I always butcher it. But he is our good friend. He is actually a photographer. And if you have seen any of our photos on our social media or our website, they are pretty much all done by him. He did our branding photo shoot and he is amazing. He is just, I will brag on him all day. I do brag on him. I'm pretty sure when the podcast starts, I brag on him some more. So I'm going to try to wrap it up. But he is just such a joy to work with. His work is incredible. He is a definition of under promise, over deliver.
For sure.
That is the best way I can kind of just summarize him as a photographer. And we ask him a ton of really awesome questions. We have great conversation about the ins and outs of being a photographer, ideal scenarios, ideal clients. And it's just such a good conversation. It was so fun.
He was a breath of fresh air for sure, because one thing about Mark, which you'll understand when you listen, is that he is so incredibly passionate about what he does. I've never seen somebody so in love with what they do. And you can hear it in his voice. Like you can hear him just like really so giddy about like when he talks about shutter speeds and this and that and clients that he shot for and growing his photography business and all of these different and what you can use photography for and how to leverage it. You can just hear it, like how passionate he is. And it's truly a breath of fresh air. We all can take a page from his book. And so I think that whether you are pursuing a career or a hobby in photography, or you just really need to hear from somebody who has truly found a way to love what he does, turn his passion into a job while also maintaining his creative spark and not burning out.
Yeah.
This is like a really, really good episode. You definitely want to listen.
Yeah. I would say I needed this conversation today because I feel like we all get so wrapped up in our day to day that we forget our why. We forget what we're even doing half the time. At least I know I do. I literally, and then I have to remind myself, but I don't know. After speaking with Mark, I'm like, he doesn't seem like he ever has to remind himself. No. Like he loves what he does. He does it for work and as a hobby. And I just think it's so beautiful. We can all learn from him.
Yeah.
So without further ado, we're going to cut to commercial and we'll be right back with Mark.
If you own a home service business and you are struggling to juggle quotes, invoices, client reminders, communications across every single platform, the works, you need to stop what you're doing and listen to me right now. Jobber has been keeping my business running smooth for years. I swear by it, and I need to tell you all about it. From managing 11 technician schedules to invoicing to automated client reminders and so much more, Jobber makes my life easy. This CRM has allowed me to truly work on building my business while keeping everything organized instead of chasing down paperwork. And here's the best part. As an official Jobber brand partner, I know I am still freaking out over this myself. I have a code that is going to not only get you a 14-day free trial, but 20% off for 6 months. Just head on to go.getjobber.com/Holly. Again, that's go.getjobber.com/Holly to claim your savings. There are multiple plans to choose from that support a multitude of business sizes and budgets. So what are you waiting for? Get your business organized and get ready to scale with ease with Jobber. Again, that's go.getjobber.com/Holly. Do it today. You will not regret it. I promise.
Okay, we are back and we are so excited to have Mark on the podcast because not only we actually know from personal experience how amazing it is to work with him. And we brag on you all the time. Like, I have to be honest, and I'm not just saying that. We brag about you all the time because not only are you an amazing photographer, but you provide an incredible experience. And we know this because we did a branding shoot with you. And then we had you at our Hustle Haven networking event. And even there, everybody gave such good feedback. Like, Mark was so easy to work with. I was so comfortable. I'm normally so awkward in front of the camera. So we have personal experience with Mark, and we also have known you for years. But our listeners don't know you. So I would love for you to talk a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself and what you do to them.
Well, first off, thank you for having me. I've always wanted to say that. But thank you for the warm intro. That was beautiful. But my name is Mark Burkhalter. I'm a photographer / videographer. And my job and my goal in life is just capture everything I can with a camera, whether it be, I do everything from weddings to portraits to birthdays. I've done first birthdays. I've done 100th birthday. And that's kind of crazy actually to say that now out loud. And I do portraits, landscapes, lighthouses are some of my favorite things to capture, but they don't pay the bills, unfortunately. But I just love to photograph just about anything I can. I fell in love with holding a camera at a young age. And just from there, I've just turned it into something that I do every day now.
I have to throw this out there super quick too. A fun fact for everybody who's watching this on YouTube and Spotify. There's a little pan in our intro. The first pan of our intro is Mark actually photographing us. So you can kind of see that. And so you also do what you didn't give yourself an accolade for, but you also do branding shoots, which is really, really cool. What would you say? I'm already going off script here.
No, you're fine. Do your thing.
First, how long would you say you've been doing it professionally for?
So I've been doing it professionally for quite some time. It's actually a funny, interesting concept when it comes to photography, because I feel like there's no real point, there's no way to just there's no point A to point B where you're like, oh, I'm professional now. It kind of just happens over time. And I've been shooting since basically my background in cameras is when I was a little kid, my family went to an aquarium, and my father had the camcorder, the stereotypical camcorder. And I just kept directing, get that. And then I wound up taking the camera. And then, so then when I was in 10th grade, they offered a media class in high school. And I thought it was the coolest concept ever to be able to use a camera to capture stuff. Because remember, I'm going to date myself here, but back in the day, your phones didn't really have cameras on them. Having a camera wasn't something that you had in your pocket or you constantly had. So the idea of being able to capture moments on a video camera was just mind blowing to me. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. We can make movies, we can make short films, we can just capture stuff, and us just being idiots with my friends. So, and then none of my friends thought it was as cool as I did. And I was like, is this my thing? And then from there, I made my Xbox gamer tag back in the day was Mark the Video Guy. Cause
I love that.
Yeah. Cause I loved it. And some of my friends from high school, I'm still in their phone as Mark the Video Guy, which is super cool. But that was the first nickname I had, and that was way back in the day. And then from there I kind of fell in love with photography, and then I got my first DSLR camera. It was a Canon 60D. Love that thing. I saved up. I worked 3 jobs at a time, saved up to buy it, and that had photo and video possibilities. So that's where I kind of got into photography as well, because I was like, oh, if I'm capturing video, I can capture photography. And it kind of just snowballed. And then especially during, because I was always doing portraits and I was always doing photo shoots. I want to say during the pandemic, I started taking it way more seriously with portrait photography, and not just my own photography, but also just, maybe I think I stepped it up a lot of notches when that, just because I started to shift more towards photography than video. And I still love both, but I think I switched a little bit more to loving photography a lot more, because especially in the pandemic, you weren't around as many people. So you can do photos by yourself, because I can go out and shoot something. I didn't need a bunch of people to do a video kind of thing. But I've been shooting for a very, very long time, doing both. And then, so recently now I would say photography has like more of a hold on my heart than video, but like I still love both a lot. But it's interesting how it shifted. It started with video and it kind of just, I don't know. I just love capturing things.
That's interesting. I actually did not know that it started with video.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I'm a little surprised. It makes sense because even when we did our branding shoot, again, you went above and beyond and you were like, do you want to get some video content, some B-roll too? So it makes sense that you do both.
Yep. Video was the first love. Video was definitely the first love, and then it kind of just snowballed. Because I always tell people that if you can do one, you can technically do the other. Because the hardest thing is framing. And framing, it's different, but it is very similar. If you can frame a camera for photography, you can probably frame it for videography. There's definitely way different aspects of it, but it's kind of like the same starting point, I guess you can say, to setting up a shot. And once you understand your settings, like, f-stop, ISO, shutter speed, it's very similar. Like shutter speed definitely has a lot more to do with video, a little bit more in depth with video, but there's a lot that's very similar. So usually if you learn one, it is simple. It's kind of easier to switch into the other realm. Like there's definitely differences, but knowing the basics are kind of similar for each.
I couldn't do either for sure.
No, I
can take a mean selfie though.
Oh yeah, no, she's the selfie queen. I feel like not everybody, but a lot of people in their life have had that like, I want to be a photographer bug. Like when I was younger, because my brother's also a photographer. He doesn't really like shoot people often. He's more of like, go to the lighthouse, shoot nature, videos of highways all over the country. So, but like when he started, I was like, I want my own fancy camera, and I got myself like a Canon, and it's now on a shelf collecting
dust. It has 100 freaking buttons on it. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
What am I doing? Like I could never. So.
That is such a good point. I always tell people, because a lot of times when you get a fancy camera, it's very intimidating because you turn it on and there's a bunch of numbers, exactly like you said. There's a bunch of buttons, there's a bunch of settings. And it's the hardest thing is starting, for sure, is understanding and knowing what those numbers are. A lot of times when you shoot, there's something called the exposure triangle, and that's like there's 3 numbers that you really have to focus on. I mentioned it before: shutter speed, f-stop, and ISO. Those are 3 different things that control your image. Basically, those 3 together equal your image, and each one controls a different aspect, but it also controls how much light you're letting into your camera. So once you understand those, that's the basic understanding. Once you understand how those 3 work, then it does become a lot simpler. But when you look and you see, oh, what does 2.8 mean? What does 3.5 mean? Why did 1/4,000? What does that do? Like, when you see those numbers without understanding them, it is very, very intimidating. Especially, that's why a lot of times you have people like get a camera and they take photos and they're like, this isn't what I wanted, because your iPhone or your Android, it does everything automatically. And it even does double exposure sometimes. Like you'll take a photo and the sky and your subject will be like exposed properly, and you'll take the photo, looks great, and you pull out your camera and you're like, it doesn't look as good on here, because it's like actually doing it manually, and like you're able to get a better photo, but it's just not as simple. It's not just like given to you, but it's definitely very intimidating to understand. And part of me being a professional is very happy not everyone understands how to use a camera.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
There's definitely talent that comes with it, and math, apparently.
Yes. a lot of numbers.
Stop, and whatever else you said, I can't even remember. What the hell?
A lot of numbers. A lot of numbers. 2.8, 1.8. Some great numbers right there.
Yeah, no, I could never.
If you know, you know.
And what I would love to know, other than obviously, a branding shoot with Holly and Laura, because that's going to be number 1. What is your
Were you going to say what's your favorite thing to shoot?
Yes.
That was my next question.
No way.
Swear to God.
Get out of my head.
Swear.
Ooh.
Literally,
Get out of my head.
I was like, and then you started saying it, and I was like, oh my God, that was my question.
That's so funny. Yeah, because obviously, like, a branding shoot with Holly and Laura is the most fun you'll ever have at work.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
That was a blast, honestly. That was a really good time.
I really enjoyed it. We're overdue for another one. So
we are.
I'm ready when you guys are. But okay, so can I divide this into 2 sections, like a professional and then a for Mark section?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So professionally, I might say weddings. I do love shooting weddings. Very stressful. very,
Yeah.
and it's more than just being a good photographer. You have to also understand how to run a day. You have to be
Yeah.
a planner. You have to understand time restraints. You have to understand how to talk to people, like you said in the intro. You have to also be a very like personable person because you're dealing with a lot of people on the best day of their lives. But after all of that stress, the idea is that you're capturing moments that they are going to look upon for the rest of their lives. And that means so much to me. Just being able to capture someone's moments that they're hopefully going to have framed in their living room, that they're going to show their kids in 20 years, they're going to look back. And like, that means so much to me. And like, just having that responsibility is something I love to like burden. And it's just such a cool experience. And like, just capturing people's love on the happiest day of their life and being a part of it is so special. So while it is very stressful, it is so special. And I love that. Now for Mark's favorite thing to shoot that, I think I said earlier, like I love shooting lighthouses. I've always liked lighthouses since I was younger, and just, I want to photograph all of the lighthouses eventually. I think I'm at like 50 something. I counted recently.
Wow.
How many are there?
I don't want to know. There's a bunch of like really small ones and a bunch of like ones in the middle of the ocean.
I'm over
that
here
never
thinking
getting to.
Long Island has one and California maybe has one. I
Oh
didn't
no!
realize that.
So, well, Long Island has two. Technically, Long Island has a bunch because you have Fire Island and you have Montauk, and then you have like there's a couple off of the North Fork. There's the one in the I can't think of its name of it, but I have a photo. I can picture the photo in my head.
I don't even know my own geography, my own homeland geography.
There's
I
a
only know this
bunch.
because of Mike. You would get along so well with my brother Mike
Yeah.
because that is also one of his absolute favorite things. He's always like, look at this lighthouse. I'm going here. I'm going to this lighthouse.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that. Like, I just got back from Louisiana. I was there for a wedding, and I photographed 3 new lighthouses while I was there, so I was hyped. Yeah, so definitely lighthouses. I love shooting lighthouses. It's just there's a lot of history with them. It just usually they're on the water. Usually I get some really good drone shots of them because they're on the water. My computer background is actually a photo I took of Montauk, like with the sunset, like from a boat, which was super cool. But I definitely love shooting lighthouses. It always gives me like a rush to like cross a new one off the list or to like add it to my collection of lighthouse photos. So definitely I would say lighthouses are my favorite thing to shoot for myself. And then weddings are my favorite thing to shoot professionally.
Do you shoot with drones ever? Because I see some of your content and I'm like, how the heck do you get it from that angle?
Oh, yes. Yes, I have a drone. It's named Droniwan II. My girlfriend named it, actually.
I love it.
Yeah, it's called Droniwan Kenobi, and I sold the first one to upgrade to my new one. And so it's legally registered through the FAA as Droniwan II.
That is
Oh my
so
God, I'm dead.
funny. I love that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I have a drone. I love it. It's great. It definitely adds a very cool perspective. And same thing with drones compared to like cameras is a lot of people, they buy drones just like they buy a camera. They look at it and they're like, huh? It's intimidating. Because I bought a drone from a buddy of mine for $160. He sold me his drone. He was like quitting photography, and it sat there for like over a year because I was too afraid to fly it. Because I was like, what if I crash? What if I lose it? And then once I started flying, I'm so comfortable with it now. Like, I love flying the drone. It's such a cool experience. You get to capture such really cool things that you wouldn't get, or like perspectives exactly. Like I guess just said, I was just in Louisiana. One of the lighthouses I captured, actually, you can only see it with your eyes. It was like this small, like it's in the distance. So I took the drone up and I launched the drone. I got right on top of it. I was
That's
able to kind of just like
awesome.
see it, and it was really cool. So it was super special to like, because you can see things you wouldn't normally see. I just captured something very, very, very cool that I'm not supposed to really say. But it's an abandoned amusement park that you're not supposed to go to. And I was able to fly the drone over it, and I got cool photos of it. But I was there, so why not?
That is that is super cool. That is super awesome.
Yeah, so the drone is super cool. It's very tricky with drones compared with when it comes to just like shooting people, though, because there's a lot of rules you have to follow with the FAA. And one thing that's important is if you're flying, you do have to follow these rules. Even if you're flying recreationally, like I do, like, a lot of times you have to fly, like you have to make sure you're in a flying zone. You have to make sure that you're in, there are no fly zones everywhere. So you have to make sure that you're flying, you're able to fly, you're able to launch, you're able to take off, you're able to not like, You're not supposed to fly over crowds of people. Like there's a lot of rules and regulations that you have to follow, and you have to be like smart with it. You can't just like, I have a drone, let me launch it. And you can't go to
That
people.
would be my problem. I would be flying it friggin' everywhere.
Yeah, you got to be really like cautious with it, and you got to be like, so like some of my friends are like, oh, can you get the shot, of me with the drone? And I was like, if I can fly, that's most important. FAA rules come first, so you do have to be very like. It is interesting because a lot of people don't realize that, because people have asked me like, oh, like can you get a drone shot of this? And I was like, I would love to, but I have to check with the rules first, because I have to make sure like there's a whole map. Like you're not allowed to fly within a couple miles of an airport, for example. If the president's in town, you can't fly. Like there's a lot of rules and regulations.
Wow, I did
Wow.
not know any of that.
Yep. There's actually a map. There's an app called Before You Fly. It's like that's like the letter B, the number 4, fly. And it has a map with all like, and you can check, and it has like if you're clear to take off, if you're able to fly there. So there's a lot of
Wow.
rules and regulations with it. So drones are very fun. Just you gotta behave, and you gotta understand the rules and the
It's
consequences.
really good to know.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they are becoming more and more popular now. They're
Mhm.
becoming more accessible. So people probably don't even. I did not know that. I did not know
Yeah.
any of that.
And
I
that
knew a little bit
yeah.
of it just because of Mike, but I didn't know about the president thing. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah,
Very interesting.
I want to say he was in town. He was in the city for something, and like for 4 days, like I could not fly. And it's like,
Oh.
luckily I had nothing planned, but it was just like I was like, and that's why sometimes like if I talk to people like they want me to fly for something, I'm like, you got to check first.
Yeah.
Like it's always a if. I'll bring it, and it's an if, but I'm not sure. Like I went to like my cousin's wedding, and it was in Connecticut, and I was like, oh, I'll get a couple like quick drone shots for you, but I was like, I have to make sure I can fly though. Like I'm not promising it. I will bring it, but I'm not promising I'll be able to take off. I was
Can
able
you
to,
get like arrested if you do it? Like, what are the consequences to?
It depends, because most of the time, like, so I have an official like drone, it's the DJI, so like they like it won't even let me take off if I'm in a no-fly zone. Like if it'll just won't even let me take off.
Wow, that
Yeah.
is so.
That's a cool
interesting.
safety feature, though.
No,
Yeah,
it's
that's
great.
cool.
I appreciate that. I know like one of my cousin actually has a drone that is able to bypass that because he uses it for animal rescue, which is really cool. He has a drone with it can like see heat temperatures, so it's able to see if there's animals and stuff. So he has one that's
Wow.
able to bypass it because of that. And I think but it's not like but the issue is that when consumers break these rules, so if someone goes out, they buy a drone, they buy like a knockoff drone, they start flying it, and then all of a sudden they break the rules, it makes everyone look bad. And then it also kind of like snowballs, and then everyone like, oh well, I hate drones because some guy flew above my lawn or someone.
Yeah.
And then now it's like, I'm just trying to fly to get some cool photos. But like the issue is that when people don't know the rules and regulations, and they kind of ruin it for other people,
Yeah, they ruin it for everyone.
Mhm.
Wow, that's really good to know.
Yeah. If we ever get a drone.
No, I'm too intimidated.
So I have another interesting question for you.
Please.
Maybe something you don't want to answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What would you say is your biggest photography pet peeve? Like something that as a client, we should not ever do.
Ooh.
Or something we should maybe know, like before we
Yeah.
like go to a shoot. Like, what is something you wish your clients did or did not do before a shoot?
That's a really good question. My mindset has changed a lot recently, because when it comes to clients, like you're paying me, and if you're paying for a service, I kind of have like, I've changed I used to have a big thing with photo credit where it's like, I always want photo credit, and I always like appreciate, and it's like, hey, if I'm doing this photo, like post it and say like, photo credit like from and Mark. Like I always prefer that. But now I'm like, if you're paying for a photo, you paid for it. Like you don't like, if I buy a coffee, I'm not like, I got this coffee from it's like I paid for it. So it's like, it's a service you're paying for. So like, that's kind of something I would have said like a while back, but now I'm like kind of changing on it. Like I always prefer it, and I appreciate it greatly, but it's not like a pet peeve anymore in that aspect of it. Be prepared, know what you want is always like a big thing, because like I can always help you and I can guide you, but I always say that like when it comes to photo shoots, you being you is so much better than me giving you a generic pose. Like being yourself, personality, like you two had a lot of personality, and we did our shoot and I loved it, because like, and those photos show it, like there's like it screams best friends, it screams you two, which is great. you know? And I always want my clients to kind of know what they're looking for, like what they want out of it. Like, you don't have to have like the poses set, but like know what you want these photos to kind of purvey and like to like showcase at the end of the day. Like, that's kind of one thing that I can think of off the top of my head. Be prepared, you know, like if you're going to have outfits, make sure they're ready, you know, be on time, and just kind of know what you're looking for, really, you know, and just, you know, because sometimes like people will just like take advantage and they'll just like, and they won't know it, but they'll just be like, oh, let's do more. Oh, hey, can we throw this in? And it's like, just also know that the more we shoot, the more I have to edit. So like, that's kind of a big thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like just plan everything in advance, like do better with, make sure you fully know what image you're trying to put out there,
Mhm.
like what you want the message to be of your shoot, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, like what you want it to like, what do you want these photos to be? Like,
Yeah.
I can get photos of you, absolutely. I can pose you, I can give you photos, and like if that's all you want, absolutely fine. But if there's a certain thing you want these photos to say, like
Yeah.
if you want to use these photos for something, know what you want to use them for. Like, do you want to use these photos for branding? Do you want to use these photos for social media? Do you want to use these photos to showcase a prop like that? You know what I mean? Like, kind of have like that kind of in your head what you're looking for. This way, like, you're not scrambling, and this way you're more comfortable too on the shoot, you know?
For sure.
That makes sense. Like have a goal in mind, basically.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's good. That's good to know. Kind of, I'm going off script again, but like just piggybacking off of that. Is there any type of shoot that you absolutely dread doing? Like for us, like if somebody calls for post-construction cleaning, I'm like, ugh, I don't want to do it. Like, is there something like that for you that you're like, pet portraits, I don't want to do it, or anything like that?
First off, I love pet portraits. It might be babies, and not because I dislike shooting like any like babies, because like it's adorable, but I always feel so awkward because like half the time these, you know, the parents come in wanting like this picture perfect photo of their child, and then the child doesn't smile, or their
Yeah.
child doesn't do anything, like, and it's hard. There's only so many tricks we can do to get the child to like be like, you know. So it's one of those things that like, that's always like an awkwardness, because it's like, I'll do everything I can, and obviously we'll do everything we can to get your child to be happy and to be live, because I want to capture those photos myself. Like, I want to give you these photos that you're going to cherish, like, absolutely. But it's always a lot of stress, because sometimes, like, you know, maybe the babies just didn't have a nap yet or something. Like, there's a lot of things that could go wrong with it. And that sometimes it's like, I always feel awkward, like, hey, like, this is a lot of, like, I feel pressured to want to like capture the best moment possible. And sometimes like I'm working with, you know, it's like kind of working like with an animal, like you don't know what you're going to get. But a lot of times, like, you know, a lot of times the parent is so chill about it, like, oh, like, I know my kid, like, that's my kid, like, totally fine. And like, if they're cool with that, obviously I'm cool with that. Like, I always want to deliver the best product available. But sometimes I would say that's kind of like that's sometimes like ooh, this could be kind of awkward.
Okay, I totally get that. First, I mean, well, I am somebody, and this made me sound like a butthole, but I don't like kids, so
I know.
that would be my least favorite. But
I was thinking the same thing.
that's besides the point. My next question for you is, because there are some things that maybe drain you a little bit in, like, when you're, you know, trying to get poses right and maybe they're not working out or something. Like, my question is, obviously, when you turn like something that you're super passionate about into a business or into a job or whatever, there is a chance of burnout, because you are kind of losing, like, you're not able to fully have creative freedom maybe over a project or something like that. So what are some things you do to help avoid that photographer burnout?
That's a great question. It's a conversation I have with a lot of my fellow photographers and videographers, and I have a very interesting take on it. And the answer is, I shoot a lot for myself still, and it's a great thing. I have found that I love having a camera in my hand. Like, that's just how I am, and I feel that since I always make it a point to not only do shoots for other people, but to do shoots for myself and to go out. And even if it's going to Fire Island, taking a walk and taking photos of the lighthouse for the 7,000th time, or going to like Southard's Pond and just getting foliage. Like I always make it a point to photograph things that I want to photograph, so that it's when I have the camera in my hand, it's not like just like making me think it's work. So it helps me like when I shoot a lot. It's also great because then when I come back to my editing bay and I'm sitting at my desk and I'm editing, once I get burnt out from doing like portraits, I just go and I start editing photos that I took for myself just to kind of like reset it a little bit. And I found that really helps a lot because I still look forward to shooting, even if it's for a client or if it's for myself. And I found it's a really healthy mix for me. So it's just nice to just like, hey, I'm going to go and shoot this. So it's like I went to Iceland in April and I got some beautiful photos. I'm very happy with it. And I still have so many photos to edit from that trip. And it's wonderful because like I'm not rushing to get them done, because like when I do have that, like, oh my God, like I've edited 3 weddings, I'm kind of like shot, I can now go into that and there's still so many photos for me to edit and to work on, and just like such a nice like relief. And I'm still doing something I love. So it's still keeping my passion alive for it, because it's like I'm still looking forward to doing stuff. And I have stuff that I'm doing for me versus not just doing stuff for other people. So that really does help with the burnout, because I love what I do, you know, and like whether it's shooting a 1-year-old that's taking a photo of a 100th-year-old or, you know, taking a photo of a lighthouse, like I still have the same love for it either way, which is super cool. And I think having that healthy balance for me is really what helps. And like I remember there was one month I was burnt out. Like it was cold. It was like a January. And I was actually in physical therapy. I was getting a massage for physical therapy, and I was just like, I was just, all I was doing was like work shoots, because I was so like, just like, it was cold out. No one wants to go out. And then one day it started to snow, and I was like, I'm going to Fire Island. Like, I don't care. Like, I need that spark. And I just pushed myself. I went, and I just felt so alive, like doing something I've done a million times, but I just felt so refreshed and like ready to go. And I was just like, just capturing photos. It was like, that I've taken before, but it was just nice to just like keep it for myself. And I was like, I'm back. Like, so I found that's like a really good way to help with the burnout.
I completely like validate that. I think that it's important. I feel like a lot of people, when they find their passion, they find what they love to do, and then they say, oh, I can make money doing it. Then all of a sudden they're pouring it, like it's completely on that side, like it's on the money making side. So then they lose that creative spark. They lose the passion for it. And so then that's when, you know, you start to say like, what am I even doing this for? I'm not even enjoying it anymore. And then I think some people forget that they started for a reason, and it's because they loved doing it. They were passionate about it. It was something that truly brought them joy. But when you're only doing it for others, that's when it becomes a problem. So you have to kind of remember, oh, I need to do stuff for myself. I feel this way about content creation all the time, because when I started to get more followers on TikTok, I was like, oh my gosh, these people need me to show up every day. And like, then I found myself creating content about things I don't even enjoy. I don't like doing. So then I was like, I'm not enjoying this at all. I'm totally just not loving it. So then I took it back, and I was like, I'm creating content that I like to make, that I enjoy. And if my followers die down, then it's on them. But you know, it's just important to remember why you started, and like remember that you loved it and continue to pursue it, not only as a job, but also on the hobby side.
That's 100% correct. And that's so true. And very, very good point. And that's exactly it. You have to take stuff that and same thing like content creation, you have to do stuff you want to do. And it's like, yes, like I always say, like I always joke, like lighthouses and nature don't pay the bills. Like that's always like my joke when people ask me. It's like, what's your favorite thing to shoot? I'm like, I love taking photos of natures, but they don't pay the bills. So that's not all I can do. But I've found that like you have to do stuff you like. Like Instagram is like the perfect example. Like you were saying with TikTok and like content creation, it's like I post on my Instagram and I'll take a photo that I'm proud of. I'll spend so much time taking the photo. I'll spend so much time editing it. I'll post it and I'll get under 10 likes. And it's just like, like that kind of hurts. But then like it's the algorithm. And I think about it, I'm like, I didn't post it for likes. I took that photo for myself. Yeah. And if people like it, great. If they don't, okay. And the thing is, it's like especially nowadays, like with the algorithm, it's not like it used to be where you see every single thing your friends post. Like the amount of times my friends post stuff and they're like, why haven't you liked it or this? I'm like, I haven't seen it. Like, it hasn't popped up on my feed. I got an ad for something that I don't want, but I didn't see your post that I would have liked, you know? So it's like, it's really can be disheartening when you like start to like, you have to shoot for yourself and you have to do stuff that you want to do. And then obviously if the followers and stuff come, then fantastic. But a lot of the times it's just like, and that's also how you get burnt out by doing stuff you don't want to do. And I found just like shooting stuff that you want to shoot and having fun with it is just the best way to stop the burnout.
Yeah, that makes sense. And correct me if I'm wrong. Do you also have another part-time or full-time job on top of your photography, right?
I work for a college too. Yep. And
Okay.
doing this kind of stuff too. I actually work for a college, and I work in a video editing lab where I help students
Oh.
with editing and stuff. And we have a TV studio that I help out in. So I'm surrounded by this kind of stuff. It's a little bit of a different side of it, but it's still like cameras and stuff. So it's super cool. So yeah, this this does engulf my life.
I was gonna say it must be tricky to like balance it all out, but I guess you don't really. You're not balancing out like shooting versus not shooting. You're more so balancing like what you love to shoot versus like things that maybe you don't love as much, but will pay the bills kind of thing.
Yeah, which it's funny because like on my off days, like I haven't had an off day in I can't tell you how long. I've also I haven't been bored in 25 years. You know, it's like, like I always joke, I'm like, I haven't been bored in years. And it's a true thing. I have a million things to do and I enjoy doing it. Like, I look forward to editing, you know? So it's like, and it's nice because like, whether it be like a wedding or it's like a lighthouse or something, you know, other things that I've shot, it really does keep it like, it's a nice balance. And obviously my lighthouses don't have a deadline like some of my other work does, but it comes to the point where you just have to really just be comfortable and confident with it and also just like enjoy what you do. I always say also, like, if you get burnt out, you're not going to like what you did. Like, especially when it comes to the creative stuff. Like, I could sit here and edit till 5 a.m. till my eyes are falling out of my head and be like, but then the next day I'm going to come back. I'm like, those colors look like garbage. And I got to redo it all, you know? So a lot of times it's like, I've also learned how to be like, know how I am. It's like, okay, I'm starting to slump. Like, I'm starting to like kind of like fade a little bit. Let me switch to something different, or let me go take a breather. Let me go clean something real quick. And let me just like, get to you know, move a little bit. But a lot of times it's like, even if I don't have like work for other people, I'm still editing. Like, that's the thing. It's like, I'm still like, I brought my computer with me, and when I went to New Orleans, I was editing photos from the trip. It's like, I'm itching to edit those right now, but like, I have other work to do. But like, I still have photos from Iceland. I went to Cape Cod recently. I still have photos from that. I have photos from Colorado, a trip I still have so many photos to touch and to work on. And it's a great feeling to have, but it's always like, you have to just balance it. And I found me personally, I've really have enjoyed balancing it really well, because I still love what I do and I still look forward to it.
You're also very good at I'm thinking about this as you are talking about this. Like, you're also very good at prioritizing though, because when you did our shoot, even you turned around those photos so freaking fast.
Mm-hmm.
So you're very good at like prioritizing what needs to be prioritized without like letting yourself. That's why I feel like I couldn't do it, because
Oh yeah, I'd procrastinate.
I would procrastinate.
No
They would never
way.
get done. Then I would be like, oh, I want to go do I want to edit these instead. And then, oh, I want to edit these instead. Oh, I don't feel like editing at all today. I'm going to go shoot something. Like, that's where but you're very good at like keeping everything on schedule and keeping like your priorities in check, which is actually that's what makes you stand out as a professional photographer.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I have it set. Like, I have a couple days where like I work from home kind of thing, where it's like I don't have my day job, and then I also I try not to plan shoots for certain days, and those are my editing days. And those are like, just because I am home does not mean I am free, kind of thing, you know? It's like, and like I am my own boss when it comes to this. So like, could I easily say like, hey, I can go and do this instead? But I'm a big like understander of like, hey, if I go out and I go do this, if I go to the thrift store or something, I'm working later. Like, I might, okay, maybe I'm gonna help my buddy move today, but I'm working tonight now. It's like,
Yeah.
I always have give myself like, this is what I have to get done today. And it doesn't matter what time it gets done, it's getting done, kind of thing, you know, whether I have to stay up late or have to do it. And I'm very disciplined with myself when it comes to that. Like, I have a mission for today. Like, I have to, there's a certain part of a gallery I'm trying to finish today, and that's like the goal for the day, kind of thing. But I have these days, and it's like, some of my friends will hit me up. It's like, hey, like, you're off today, right? I'm like, kinda. It's like, you want to do this? I'm like, nope, I have work to do. It's like, it's like I'm home and like, you need me for an emergency. Yes, I am my own boss. I can flex my hours, but that's how I stay on top of things, is by not letting it run away, not letting it,
Gosh.
and I've
So
also
triggered.
found it.
I know. I'm so triggered.
You're preaching to the choir over
Like,
here.
I don't know if you hear me like scoffing at every like thing you say. I'm like, I totally get it. Oh gosh.
It's hard. It's hard. It's taken I've been doing this for a long time, like I said. So it's taken me a long time to kind of understand that mentality. And also it's also, I've gotten to the point where I love like my own photos and like I want to work on them, but I understand that like I'm gonna feel more relieved when other people's stuff is done first.
Yeah.
So I kind of, like I said, I kind of like have it where it's like, I'm gonna start with those. My photos in the middle will be like a nice little treat, and then and then after. But it's just funny because my editing breaks are usually editing different things, because I like it.
That's awesome. You really have like a real passion too, which is probably why you're so good at what you do. Like, I feel like if you like what you do, you will be automatically better at it. How would you say, like, how would you say you get your clients? Like, what is your form of marketing? Like, is it all word of mouth? I know you had mentioned posting on social media. Like,
I feel like you're Mr. Popular. Like, you have a lot of friends though too.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
like
that
we
helps.
found you from we knew you, but we were on Facebook looking for a photographer because we had gotten a ridiculous quote from another photographer, and a bunch of our friends recommended you, and we're like, oh yeah. So like, is that how you normally get your clients?
So yeah, a lot of it is word of mouth. First up, we got to shout out Brian. Thank you, Brian, for giving us the contact. Thank you, my boy. But a lot of it is word of mouth for sure. Because when it comes to photography, like, I hate to say it, but like, anyone can take a photo. Like, it's true. Not going to say it's a good photo, but anyone can take a photo. I've seen a lot of times where I've had clients talking to me about possibly booking a shoot, and then they have phone photos instead, and you can tell the difference. And I'm like, okay, like, you went that route. Does it get the job done? Meh, but like that, whatever, besides the point. So a lot of it is word of mouth, because a lot of it is just like, it's also like, I hate to use like modern lingo, but it's the vibes too. Vibes are such an important part of it. Like you mentioned in my intro, thank you very much. It's like, you have to be like comfortable, and you have to be like, willing to make sure that they're having a good time, because I'm a firm believer, just like tangent a little bit, that when you look at the photos, it's kind of like a portal back to that day in your mind for like a memory. And if you had a bad time on that shoot, or you weren't comfortable, those photos are not going to bring you joy as much as they would if you had a good time. Because if you're looking at that photo and you remember being happy and having fun in that photo shoot, that photo is going to mean more to you than a photo where you weren't having fun. You know what I mean? Like,
That makes perfect
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
it's like, it unlocks a part of you. Like, a lot of photos that I've taken, I still, like, I look at that photo, like, I remember that moment I felt where it was just pure like joy of like excitement of, oh my God, I just took this amazing photo. Like there's a couple photos I have where I just remember like jumping in the air and like punching the air, like, yes. And like, when I see those photos, it still like brings that moment back to me, which is super, super cool. But back to where we were. But yeah, so when it comes to clients, it's like being personable and being like, giving that good experience is a good way, because people rave about you, which is huge. Social media is huge. And like I said, back to what I said earlier about the photo credit thing, photo credit does go a long way. While I don't think it's required, I think it is definitely very, very much appreciated. And like, I always prefer it. But like I said, if you're paying, it's kind of like, you don't have to. I would love it if you did, but I'm not going to get mad if you don't, kind of thing. You know what I mean? But I feel like that goes a long way, because then people say, oh my God, I love these photos. I want to do that. Oh, they had this person, they reach out, A lot of it is word of mouth. I do have a website, but most of it is just word of mouth, I would say.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, it makes sense. Especially because it's more of like an intimate service. Like, especially if you are hiring somebody for like a wedding, for example, like you're kind of taking a gamble, because that is, you're not going to have, well, hopefully you're not going to have a second wedding. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But like,
No.
if you're an event photographer, like, that is very important. There's high stakes. So you need to go with somebody that you can trust.
Absolutely. I always say it's like when I do weddings, it's like we have to have like a video chat first to make sure the vibe is right. Because like, I know I'll do a good job, but I want to make sure that you like me as a person, not just a photographer.
Right.
Because on your wedding day, you're going to be spending more time with me than Uncle James, who flew in from Denver to be here. It's like it's funny because like I say that sometimes where it's like I'm like, wow, like I spend more time with the couple than majority of their family do. And like, so like you're a big part of that day, and you have to remember that, and you have to like appreciate that, and really like that humbles me sometimes, where it's like, hey, like I'm a part of your day and I love that. But I want to make sure that like you had a better day because I was there.
Right.
And then when you look at my photos, you're going to love it. I was at a wedding once as a guest, and my buddy was a groomsman, and he hated the wedding photographer. Like at one point he came up to me, he's like, I'm gonna fight the photographer. I'm like, what? So, because I think it was a photographer, like I'm not saying he did a bad job by any means. I think he was just there because it was his job. I think he lost his passion, and I think he was just doing the thing. And I think that like when they got their photos back, I don't think they were the happiest with him because they didn't have the best experience with him.
Oh, that sucks.
And like it's just one of those things that sometimes like you have to be passionate. You have to be like, you can't just be there clicking a button. Like wedding photography is not just clicking a button and editing a photo. It's a personality you have to have too. And you have to be able to plan it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because you want like I mean for me, I envision my own wedding day that's never gonna happen because I've been with my man for 9 years. I don't know what the hell he's doing.
Maybe that's what him and Laura are talking about.
So yeah, really, yeah, right.
Oh, that was off air. I'm sorry.
You never know. I wish. But like, I definitely would want somebody like celebrating and like really excited and happy to be there, and like, that's what I would personally want. I mean, but also like I would want somebody whose personality matches mine, that can have fun and that doesn't even mind like a little bit of a mess up. Like I don't need I want it to be like authentic and like just kind of going with the flow. I don't want to be like, oh, stand there and tilt your head and do this and like, okay, click, click, click. Like I want it to be more fun and like in the moment and like all of that stuff. But I mean, I know everybody's different, but that seems like the type of vibe that you would also go for when screening a potential client.
Absolutely. Personality is always a huge thing. I always tell my clients too, it's like, if you have any props you want to bring that make you guys you, I love that. Like, yeah. I always think it's great because like, it's your photos. Like I always tell people like, don't remember, it's not just a stereotypical, like it's a wedding photo. You need this photo. You need that photo. You need this. It's your photos. So like get what you want to get. Like if you don't want the stereotypical photos, they're your photos. Like no one's going to sit here and be like, you didn't get that. Well, you paid for it. You get what you want, So exactly like, get what you want to get. And if you want chaotic and you want more personal, I always say personality is key. Like photos that showcase who you are, way better than a staged stereotypical, photo that's just like staged. Like you want.
I agree 100%. We actually get a lot of compliments. So we use a lot of your photos on our websites. We have two. We have the Hustle Havens website. Yeah. And now we've actually put a lot of those photos. You have to actually check it out one of these days. It's better on desktop than mobile though. But we used a lot of those photos on our website because, just so everybody knows, you can't use iPhone photos on a website. They're not big enough and they get blurry.
Yes.
So when you get professional photos done, you can use those on a website and you can do really cool stuff with them. And we get a lot of compliments on our website now because I put all of those new photos in, and everybody says, I love your website. You and Laura look so friendly and fun and personal. And I'm like, yeah, though, that's because that's what Mark allowed us to do and be during our photo shoot. And so I agree with you 100%. Like you have to really and it doesn't just have to be for branding, it's whatever, but you want to portray yourself. You want to capture yourself. You don't want to capture the shell of you. That doesn't even make sense to me.
1,000%. Yeah. And that's one thing I loved about our shoot, the first one especially, was that you guys are just so yourselves after a little bit, And like, that's one thing I love, because a lot of the photos, like I said earlier, it shows that like you can see the friendship, you can see the quirkiness and just like the mid laugh. And like a lot of the shots, like I kept snapping because remember, we would make a joke and then Laura burst out laughing. It's like, I got it. And those were my favorite photos. Cause like,
those were my favorites, honestly.
Or like one of you would say something, the other one would start laughing. And like that got such a natural photos. And that's so much better than the stage, because exactly like you're saying, a lot of people, they can see that, they can really like, enjoy that and be like, wow, I can tell that that's a genuine laugh and that's a genuine, it's not just a,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
And
you
we
wanna-
did have an experience, which we told you on our. The other thing I loved is that you did the consultation with us because we had previously hired somebody for a branding shoot. Granted, it was discounted, and I am a firm believer in you get what you pay for. But we didn't have a good experience because I felt very stiff. I felt rigid. I felt posed. I felt like I couldn't be myself, and it 100% showed in the pictures. It 100% showed.
We didn't use any of
No.
them. They were
No.
bad. They were not good.
They were not good. No.
I'm sorry to hear that. But no, of course. And sometimes it calls for that. Absolutely. Like certain jobs or certain, shoots call for the stereotypical headshot, the stereotypical pose. And like, it depends what you're shooting for.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's not just cookie cutter. Photography is not cookie cutter, in my opinion. It's not
Yeah.
one shoot fits all or one pose fits all.
Yes.
Every couple's different. I just did a shoot with a couple right before I left for New Orleans, and it was an awesome shoot. It was an engagement photo shoot. Couple was great. And in the beginning, they were like, oh, like, can you pose us? And I was like, I definitely can, but like, let's just do a couple natural ones. Like, let's just do like, you guys just be yourselves first, get a little loosey. Cause like, it's a little awkward when you're standing. It's especially in the very beginning of a photo shoot when someone's telling you, oh, lower your shoulders, this, and like you do it and you look so stiff and awkward that like no one ever really likes those photos from the beginning of a shoot. So I'm like, just be yourselves for a few. Like, let me just snap a couple and just be yourselves, just kind of be together. And if you need me to after that, absolutely. But let's see where we go. And they did phenomenal. They were like, after they got a little loose, like they were so good. Like they were doing poses themselves. Like they were, and like the photos they show that. Like it shows like their true love. And it's just like, it's cute and it's adorable,
Yeah. And photos like that are like when you, I feel, I don't know, this could be an opinion, but like when you really capture like yourself and it's just authentic and it's who you are. Those photos are really like they're evergreen. They can be used for decades. Like they can just be used forever, and they're versatile. They can be used for all sorts of different things. They can be used for like, of course, like at home scrapbooks and picture frames and stuff like that. But they can be used on social media. They can be used on like if that couple you shot, if they have a business, or if the wife has a business, their soon-to-be wife had a business of some kind, like a really cool About Me thing could, feature something like that. Like there are a lot of really cool ways to repurpose that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, we got that photo shoot done 6 months ago, and I won't use anything else yet because I just love those photos. Like, I use them for everything because they're just, they're so good. They're exactly who we are. And I haven't had the pink hair since then, but I'm like, that pink hair represented me. I got my hair done pink for that shoot. That's just who I am. Like,
I love that. I love that. Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, because I think that's another great thing to touch on is that like photography is not just like for the scrapbook. Like there's so many uses for photos, whether it be like, and if you don't have a business, there's still so many uses for it. Yeah, social media is always what people think of first. Do they think of social media? I always think when it comes to like wedding photography and other photography and like family photos, it's like having that photo like in either like a digital or a real photo frame on the wall is huge. Having it in a scrapbook, having it for holiday cards. I have this one family I shoot for. And I love them. It's this couple, Mike and Aaron, that I shoot for, and they're one of my favorite couples. Shout out to them. They hire me for like a lot of their family events now, so I've become like kind of like the family photographer. And I love both their families. Like they're so sweet, they're so inclusive. They always make me feel really like welcomed, and like I always love shooting with them. And I think one year I was shooting a surprise birthday party for Aaron's father, great guy, and so we shoot the photo. So I did a full family photo for them, and I photoshopped little Santa hats onto all of them. And that was their Christmas card. And like they sent it to me, and it was like one of the coolest things ever. I was like, but like there's so many uses for the photos for sure. So it's awesome because when you get photos taken of you, you can use it for so many different things. Social media, if you have a website, if you have a job and you want to use it for like a headshot, like there's so many different uses for photography. Like the amount of weddings I've shot where some random, like one of the grooms was like, oh, can you get a headshot of me? And I'm like, I'm here, sure. Like I'll take a photo of them against like a wall.
That's awesome.
And it's like, I'm like, yeah, like I'm here. Like I'm a very different, like I do not want to put this out there that other photographers will do this. I do not want to get anyone else in trouble. Like I'm a very, like I said, I have that passion. I love what I do. So I'm like, sure, you want a mini shoot? I got you. Like, I'm here. Like, I love what I do.
I mean, I get it because that's how you were with us. You were
Yeah.
like, oh, you want some slow-mo like videos?
Yeah.
For, you know, like that was not
She
what
did
we
like a
hired
mini
you
pet
for.
shoot. You shot Maple. You're
Oh,
like,
yes,
what's up?
you did Maple's portrait. Yes, I remember that too. Yeah, so I don't.
yeah.
No, I don't think that's the norm for
No,
sure.
no,
But
definitely
that's
not.
just the reason why more people should hire you.
It's
to
like
be
a
honest.
perk, honestly. That was like the biggest selling point too. Even in our consultation, you were like, oh, like whatever good photos we get, they're yours. And I'm like, I love that because I feel like a lot of good like photographers, which I totally understand why they do this. It's
Absolutely.
like, this is the number. This is all you're getting. But I'm like, but what if there's a 26th photo that is so good? Like you're just going to throw it in the garbage.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, if you don't mind me touching upon that, because like that's actually a really good thing that to bring up, because a lot of photographers do have that. They have a photo limit. And I definitely am untraditional and I don't do that, but I understand completely and do not like disagree with other photographers for doing that, because when you do that, you're also, it's all about the workload too. Because when you shoot, and let's say you promise 10 edited photos, for example, right? And you shoot, and it's a mix of not wanting to overpromise anything because you don't want to say, hey, I'm going to give you, 10 edited photos, or say, oh, I'm going to give you photos, then there's only 10 good ones. It's like with this, it's like, hey, I know what I got. Boom. I know what I'm shooting for. And it makes their life easier, especially when you do like mini sessions and stuff. And also when you do it that way, it helps keep your workload smaller, because when you're shooting consistently, and like and that helps with burnout too in like a weird way. And it's not the client's problem per se, but it is like as a business, it makes sense, because if you're editing 100 photos, for 5 galleries over and over and over again, that's how you kind of do get that burnout. But if you're like, hey, I only got to do 25, and you're right, if there's a 26, sometimes people are nice and they'll throw it in, or they'll have options to buy more. But a lot of times it's how other photographers deal with the burnout, is because they're like, hey, I'm not editing every single photo. I'm going to give you 25. So I know for a fact I do my 25. We're good. That's what you're contracted for. And other people also enjoy having less options, I've learned. Like I said, sometimes I feel like I overwhelm some people with how many photos I give them, because they're getting so many photos, and like it's a problem that I enjoy, but I can understand it completely. When you're given like, hey, here's 100 photos, and you got to pick 5. It's like, how do you do? Some people love options, some people don't, because it's too overwhelming to have so many things to pick from.
That makes sense. I mean, I think that just goes back to like, not everyone is perfect for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, for us, like I love to be in front of the camera, so for me it's easy. Like, yes, the more the merrier. But somebody else, they may be like, okay, I don't want this many. I just wanted a few for my website, or a few for my whatever. So I think that just goes back to like, not everybody is the ideal client, but
I mean, a perfect example is like, look at the last event we did. Some of your guests, we'll call them, some of them wanted one quick shot and they were done. Like, oh, one shot, cool, I got my headshot, I'm done. Others were like, I brought this, let me do 5 props with this.
Yes.
Everyone's different, and like it's all good. Like I love it either way. But some people want that one shot and they're good. Other people want, oh, let me try another one. Let me get this one. Let me get this right. Everyone's different, and everyone likes different things, because sometimes when you do family photos, it's like, you have like, you have the one person that really wants photos and the rest of them are like, why are we here?
Yeah, I can imagine.
Well, you're very good at working with all different personality types, which is good. You have to be malleable in your industry. And so I think that that's very good. A good selling point for you.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And you have to understand too, when people don't want photos too, like when it comes to like event photography, a lot of times you have to understand when like the client, the couple, whoever you're shooting is like done, because you have to remember when you're shooting an event or a wedding that like it's their event, like they're enjoying the event, they're enjoying their wedding, and it's not a photo shoot. I think what a lot of people have to really like get like understand is that like, while you're hiring me to shoot your event, this is not a photo shoot. This is, you still have to enjoy and love your event. Get your photos, absolutely, but do not take away from the event because you want photos. Like, don't walk out from your wedding and miss 20 minutes and miss your favorite song because you want photos.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
that makes
unless-
perfect sense.
If you want that, absolutely. I love doing it. I think one of the last weddings I worked, this is not the last one, but one of the last ones I worked, the couple actually told me no. And I was so happy with them, because they wanted to do sunset photos. So sunset was happening. I was like, hey, do you guys want to go outside? And they're like, we're loving the vibe in here. I think we're okay. And I'm like, perfect.
Wow.
Like
It's good when people know what
and-
they want.
Yeah.
And I told them that prior. I'm like, please do not hesitate. I was like, you want photos? I will offer any photos that you ask me you want. You tell me you want sunset photos. I will tell you when it's time to go outside for sunset photos. But please do not hesitate to tell me that you want to enjoy your day. It's your wedding. Please do not hesitate to say, hey, we're just going to hang here, get photos of the dance floor instead. We're going to enjoy. And I thought that was fantastic because they enjoyed their day. You know, I don't want to pull them and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I kind of wish I was inside. And then the photos don't come out good anyway, you know?
Yeah. I
But
love that point.
It's just because it's like I said earlier, the photos take you back to the memory of that day. And honestly, a photo of you on the dance floor having the best time of your life, like a candid, might be better than that post photo outside because you were having so much fun in that moment. And that might mean so much more to you, you know?
Yeah, totally. So, all of that to say, this is actually my last question. What would you say is your dream? Like, if traveling didn't matter, funds didn't matter, like nothing mattered, like, and real or fictional, I don't know. But like, what would your dream project be? Like, whether it be a person or like a place, like what would your dream project be?
I want to shoot Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding. No, I'm totally kidding. I do not want that pressure. like,
oh my gosh, right?
I feel like no matter what, you can do the best photos in the world. You'll have people online ripping you apart for like, oh, you didn't do this or this. Like, this was that. Like, no. To be honest with you, I'm going to keep it really simple. My dream would be to do any kind of portraits for the New York Islanders. Like, simple as that. I would love to just like do like photos like of the team like, you know, they have some phenomenal photographers right now. I've talked to a couple of them, like they're so good, but I would love to like just like hang out and just like photograph those guys because like I'm a huge hockey fan, so to me like that's like the dream is to like I have digital photo frames in my office and they're like all my favorite photos. Like you two are on there, don't worry. Like yeah, absolutely, don't worry. But so like they rotate and they show like all photos I've taken, and like I would just love to have like photos of like actual portraits of like the Islanders like in there that I have taken. Like that would mean a lot to me. So like that's probably like the dream shoot for me right now.
Wow,
Awesome.
that's so cool. Well, one day, something to work for.
I'm trying my best. I have a couple connections. I'm trying to pull it through. Next time I meet one of them, I've met a couple of them quickly, and I kind of want to like offer them like a hey, like here's my card, like free photo shoot. Like you guys I know you guys are professional paid athletes, and I understand that, but at the same time, like you guys are like my escape a lot when like I'm having a bad day. I watch a game of hockey and like I'm like the only thing I care about is that little rubber puck, and I'm like it's a wonderful experience. It's a wonderful thing to just like only care about this little thing and not care about the rest of life for a few hours. So I'm like I would love to just say hey, here's a free shoot on me as a thank you for what you guys do for me as like a fan. So like it would be kind of, so that's like I need to find a way to make that happen.
I'm manifesting.
Yes, I was just
it's in your future.
Manifest. Put it on
put
on your vision
board. Like that's in your future, and I can't wait to see it, witness it firsthand.
I appreciate that greatly.
Before we hop off of here, I just want to give you an opportunity to kind of plug your website and your socials so that our listeners can connect with you further if they wish.
I appreciate that. Yeah. So my name is Mark Burkhalter. Like I said earlier, my Instagram is FroManMark. I used to have a lot more hair when I was young, when I was in high school, and I got the nickname Froman after Mark the video guy. It was FroManMark. But so FROMANMARK, like FroManMark. My website is markbmedia.com. And that's where you can find all my portraits and stuff. There's also links on my Instagram for everything. You can find links to like my YouTube channel and everything on there, all my content and stuff. A lot of the stuff I do for YouTube now is kind of private because a lot of it's for like weddings and stuff, so I don't post it as much because like it's not mine to post really. But I do have a cool Iceland recap video on there. But yeah, so that's where you can find most of my photography. And if you want to book a shoot, hit me up on Instagram or use my website to send me an email.
Awesome. And we'll make sure we link everything in the description and the show notes too, so that anybody can book with you if you are local to Mark, or if it's a bigger project. You fly for bigger projects, correct?
Yes.
Like you travel for bigger projects? Okay, great. So if no matter where you are, doesn't hurt to send Mark a message and see if he can definitely help accommodate. But his stuff is great. We love him. We definitely want to use you again. We can't wait for that. I gotta drop like 10 pounds, and then
I know. As soon as like we're gonna drop some weight, change our hair color, and then we're gonna call you.
You'll be seeing us again in like March, because that's like my sexy time. Like I starve myself in January and February, so in March I blossom like a flower, and that's like my hot season. So you'll see us probably around that time.
I'll be looking forward to it. You let me know when. I'll definitely have some time ready for you guys.
Perfect.
We need a spooky photo shoot. Every time I see your spooky photos, I'm like, we need
to do that this year, but the whole month got away from us.
Yes.
But we'll definitely
Next
do
time,
like a
next
pumpkin
year.
head like photo shoot next year.
It's a lot of fun. I love the Halloween stuff. It's a lot of fun. We can really make it good. So definitely.
Awesome.
Oh, I can't wait. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you
As
for
always,
having
it was
me.
an absolute pleasure chatting with you, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a fantastic day.